Okay, so for our integration project, we are planning to build a community garden in Mountain View, Anchorage. So the garden will sit on a 4-acre plot of land and host both indoor and outdoor gardens. The indoor portion will consist of 5 different 20 by 30 foot polycarbonate structures and will host a variety of root vegetables, herbs, and squashes. Each greenhouse structure will be equipped with grow lights to combat the challenges of short winter days. The outdoor garden will simply consist of 1 acre of irrigated land in an area subjected to an abundance of natural light. The gardens will follow a generalized annual schedule based on Alaska's unique climate. On average, Alaska has a frost-free growing season between early May and mid-September. Broccoli, spinach, peppers, eggplants, and cabbage will be planted in the greenhouse in mid-February. They will germinate indoors and then be transported to the outdoor garden. And that will happen once the soil temperature reaches 60 degrees Fahrenheit. These vegetables will all be harvested in the fall. And then we'll also have carrots, onions, beets, radishes, and leeks, all planted in the greenhouse in mid-September. And then those vegetables will be harvested in early spring or summer. And that just depends on the specific growing needs. So we'll also host events at our garden. Every September, the garden will host a community market where freshly harvested vegetables will be available for purchase. The event will have live music and will be advertised on the radio and through social media. Immigrants and refugees will be able to host booths where they sell and share food and drinks from their native culture. Volunteers from Anchorage community will assist with the planning and execution of these events. Additionally, in March, an auction will be held in order to fundraise money to support the garden. So all proceeds from both events will go directly to the upkeep of the garden and compensation of the employees. Vegetables harvested in the spring will be available for purchase during this event as well. All leftover harvested vegetables will be free for employees to take home. And then overall, the purpose of this garden is to integrate refugees and immigrants into the Anchorage community. A year-round staff will work to maintain and harvest the greenhouses and gardens. Employees will be compensated a minimum of $20 an hour, and hiring priority will always go to immigrants and refugees. This offers a work opportunity to those new to Alaska who may have limited networking resources. Additionally, training will be inclusive and offer learning and job opportunities to people who have underdeveloped English. Employees will always be able to bring their children to work, and this is in order to alleviate stresses associated with finding childcare.
So previously, there has been a community-wide garden that has been shown throughout Anchorage. There are currently 4 community gardens with roughly about 189 plots altogether. These gardens are run by the municipality and Anchorage. The Anchorage citizens do have to pay a $30 per plot, or some are very volunteer-based. But with these municipality amenities that are given to all the people. These amenities do include water being monitored by Parks and Rec, provides portable tables, garbage cans, and porta potties, with also a small area for children to play in case you do want to bring your kid to the garden. Each plot of land is about 10 by 20 feet, and in 2013, there was a survey conducted by the municipality where they got 62 gardeners with about 44 plots altogether, and each volunteer had about 5.5 hours of work, or of volunteer work per week. And about 2/3 of all the volunteers brought their children to play along in the local area or to help with gardening. But however, the best result that came out of this situation was that all of these gardeners / volunteers all said that they had a greater respect and greater knowledge of the community that they are working with getting to know their neighbors and getting to know their community a lot better, showing that real like community-based integration. Next. And then lastly, one of the better parts of this community-based activity was that with each plot, they were able to feed people with the produce, and on average, they were able to feed about 7.5 people per plot. Next.
So we're going to go over immigration in Alaska. According to the American Immigration Council, Alaska does have quite a sizable immigrant community, mostly originating from the Philippines. Their statistics show that 8% of Alaskan residents are immigrants, while 7% of residents are native-born U.S. citizens with at least one immigrating parent. What is interesting to note about this is that also according to the AIC, about a third of all Alaskan immigrants pursue education higher than the college level, with only 12% having less than a high school diploma. This is refreshing to see as it goes against the all too present racist stigma towards immigrants and of a majority being uneducated. But the numbers weigh against that fact, with over 30% of all immigrants having a form of high school diploma, as well as some college education. Alaska has an essential workforce in the immigrant community, with 40,834 immigrant workers as of 2018, as that number continues to grow into 2020. Alaska during the 2015 Syrian refugee crisis took a stance of support, and subsequently, that is where most of the useful information regarding the Alaskan immigration issue arose. You can go ahead and change slides. Although Alaska does support legal immigration, they do not lawfully allow lawfully residing immigrants to enroll in Medicaid or Children's Health Insurance Program, also known as CHIP, as of October 2016. Medical treatment is extremely important, and being legally immigrated without being allowed access to what most would deem an essential health safety net is strange. Alaska has no issue employing immigrant workers, though, as stated in the earlier paragraph. They actually make up a large portion of the manufacturing industry in Alaska. That being said, employers were not required to use the E-Verify system for their potential employees, meaning that there could be a larger undocumented immigrant force that the legal system is unaware of. With this information, it becomes clear why we would like to support solely immigrants with this project. Alaska's immigration system is not perfect. In fact, it is far from it. We would like to proactively protect immigrants who may fall through the gaps in Alaska's workforce and education system by providing a stable workplace and income. Providing healthcare should be a top priority, especially because of the lack of availability of Medicare to legal immigrants, as well as providing the resources that are needed to become a successful worker in the Alaskan economy. This is a hypothetical, but perhaps providing access to scholarship or tuition breaks to those employed by the greenhouse would be a good way to send more people to school to receive that higher education. Giving people a platform for what they need assistance with is the ultimate goal. That's all for me.
Hello. So, throughout our semester, we have learned a lot about intercultural communications, and one of the main focuses during our lectures and readings was those who have left their culture group, either through choice or sadly being forced to leave, and entering into a new culture. This project has a large focus on this issue and assisting those immigrants who are new to American culture and to the local culture of Alaska. There are many methods for intercultural transitions, such as assimilation, separation, and integration. The one that will be highlighted with this project will be assimilation and integration. Assimilation involves both those coming to America being accepted of change and those who are already in America accepting the changes of the culture. This is known as the melting pot, which is what a lot of our culture is based on. It is similar to integration, but integration involves those coming over keeping more of their original culture while still interacting daily with those of the new culture they are a part of. So entering into a brand new culture group for immigrants is a very difficult task, and there are many parts of this transition that can prove quite difficult. Oftentimes, for immigrants who are new to the culture, it is difficult to find simply where to start and how to meet people. With a community garden, it gives a good opportunity for immigrants to meet new people who are new to the community, and also those who have been here for quite some time. Those who are in assimilation mode would find this opportunity very helpful, as they will have the opportunity to learn more about the new culture they are in, and it will be a safe place for those people to meet others and also just overall learn the basic lingo and how things are done. The community garden also helps avoid the dominant group from forcing assimilation. This has been a large issue where when someone new to the community comes, the dominant culture group will attempt to force them to change very quickly, and it can often leave those who are new to the culture in a very difficult position where they're being told to abandon everything they know and transition quickly or be shunned by those who essentially surround them. So because of this, ultimately, the garden would be a safe space for everyone to help each other out in every facet of their transition to American and Alaskan culture. So hopefully, if this project happens, it will be a wonderful opportunity for those new to the state to easily become a part of our culture. That would be all. My bad, I should have said next slide.
All right, and to piggyback on the difficulties of assimilation, we must be extremely intentional to create an empathetic work environment. The term empathy was originally derived in 1873 from German philosopher Robert Bischer, who defined it as a notion of feeling into. Empathy has often also been described as the ability to understand the feelings of another, and over the past decade, neuroimaging studies have discovered activity in the brain related to the way people perceive themselves and their connectedness to others. With incorporation of immigrants and refugees, we must be sensitive to their cultures and beliefs as we welcome them into our new work environment. Switch slides, please. Immigrants have been able to secure jobs, but the need for employers to engage in immigrant integration is evident upon examining the characteristics of immigrant workers, their occupations, the industries where they work, and the trends in federal government funding. 25% of immigrant workers do not speak English or speak it poorly, and 26% don't have a high school diploma. About 10% has lived in the United States for 5 years or more, and over half of immigrant workers aren't citizens. There are 3 major ways we will be able to empathetically include immigrants and refugees in our community garden. The first being pre-boarding and onboarding. Pre-boarding is the process of engaging your new hires from the moment they accept a job offer through their first day on the job. It can alleviate new hires' first day fears, give them the tools to be up and running faster, and ultimately drive engagement and retention. Onboarding is the process of orienting and involving new employees to improve overall retention and goes beyond the typical new employee orientation. By adopting existing pre-boarding and onboarding programs, an organization like ours can work to build an inclusive culture and provide refugee employees with tailored information needed to succeed. A comprehensive program, including breakout sessions specifically for refugee and immigrant employees, can help include and acclimate new employees from different cultures and even help refugee and non-refugee employees form genuine connections. Our second is employee and team readiness. Organizations can benefit from helping employees and teams build an understanding of their refugee colleagues' backgrounds and what is expected from them when working with refugee and immigrant employees. Providing employees with the necessary resources to both understand and support their colleagues can help drive cross-cultural interactions and increased engagement across employee groups. Lastly, we cover language translation and development. Employers can offer language translation and development resources to refugee employees, thereby supporting them in navigating the workplace, engaging with colleagues, growing within the organization, and feeling comfortable in their new home.